process and the steps and requirements I want you to do when you are flipping your vocabulary, i.e. you're presenting it to the class, or eventually you're actually creating your own whiteboards and you're recording your vocabulary presentations. So, as always, you're either going to have a literary device or term, or you're going to have a Greek stem. And these are the requirements for each. So, for the lit device, you should always have the term or the word, the definition or meaning of it, common uses. And what I mean by common uses, tell the student where they may see it. Do they see it in short stories or novels? Do they see it in poems? You know, there's some literary devices that are typically always in poems. There's some literary devices that are always in articles that you read. And there's some that are always in short stories. Kind of tell them where they typically will find the literary device that you have been assigned. And then lastly, kind of give 2 examples. Now, another segue you can do, if you find a game that is going to assess our knowledge of that literary device, instead of using the examples, you can use a game. Now, the Greek stem also has 4, but the 4th one is optional. So you still have the term. You still have the meaning. Examples, I want you to try to give me at least 3. Give me at least 3 examples. And then if you can, completely optional, give me 2 sentences where you use at least 2 of the examples that you mentioned above in a sentence. So, here's a lit term example. So, first you're going to have the word, allusion. The meaning, a reference to another piece of literature. Common use, to help the reader make a connection. And then I said you typically see it in fiction and nonfiction pieces. Anything fiction or nonfiction. Short stories, poems, novels, you name it. All authors can use allusion in anything. And then I gave an example. So, her face crumbled like Humpty's shell. So automatically I know I've recognized the word Humpty. Humpty Dumpty, his shell, his eggshell. So her face must have cracked like Humpty's shell. Now I'd have to read more to see what the author means by crumbling, but I automatically made the connection about her face because I knew who Humpty was. Now let's look at a Greek stem example. So this Greek stem is phobia. Phobia means fear of. And as you can see, I've given 3 examples. So I first have necrophobia, which is the fear of death. Then I let my student know that necro is a Greek stem for death. Next I have octophobia, fear of the number 8. Octo is a Greek stem for the number 8. Phobia is fear of the number 8. Then lastly I have pedophobia. Pedophobia is the fear of children. Pedo being the Greek stem for children, and phobia being the Greek stem for fear of. Now, lastly, when you're ready to save and publish your presentation, if you're doing a PowerPoint, you want to first save it. You then want to place it in your personal shared folder that you shared with me, your teacher. And then lastly, just for good measure, you want to email me. Now, when we move to flipping, you're literally going to have the same information, but on a smaller whiteboard. Easy as drinking a bottle of water.